Hey, what is going on with y'all, man? It is Black Balloon, and I'm coming back with another video, so y'all already know what's going on. Alright, y'all. Yeah, man, look, today we are gonna continue where we left off last Sunday, right? Y'all remember last Sunday, we finally got the Liam Payne video out, and, we talked about how strange the circumstances was surrounding his death. Now, from that video, I got two really good suggestions for this Sunday. And I thought, why not? Let's not think about it too much. We can knock these videos out. And I'm going to kind of put these together. I don't usually, make the video about two separate people. But since it's kind of along the same topic and they all died the same way, I figured it would be cool to do, right? So if y'all don't know this guy on the screen, this is the late, great, legendary Donny Hathaway. We are also going to cover Trevor Moore in this video as well, because from these two back to Liam Payne, and, these are not the only three, they basically all died the exact same way. Now, I know a lot of y'all know about Trevor. When that was suggested to do a video about it, it got a lot of likes. A lot of people have done videos and have, like deep feelings for what Trevor did as a comedian. So I know a lot of y'all know about him. I know a lot of y'all know about Donny Hathaway as well, but he's not talked about in, like, I guess the conspiracy world of how he died. But the numbers, man, they do not lie. And if y'all know anything about Donny, then when we get to this article that I have, you will not be surprised at all. With that being said, y'all, I think we'll go ahead and just jump into Trevor's story first. I got a clip or two where, I'm sure some of y'all have seen these clips. We'll try to squeeze them in this video without getting copyrighted. If I do get a copyright, I may have to cover the screen with the image, which would be unfortunate because it kind of takes away from the video, but it is what it is, right? So Trevor was like one of those comedians to me that, some people would call it satire, some people would call it like, he's telling the truth through jokes, but I saw it more as, like how Cat Williams will do, some comedians who like to tell the truth through, joking. And he talked about a lot of stuff. There's a wide range of topics that I guess he wasn't afraid to speak on, right? Even all the way back to 9/11. So yeah, y'all, look, without me making this intro much longer than I already have, we'll go ahead and get into these clips that I have from Trevor, and we'll come back and talk about how all these deaths are the same. Check this out.
Hi, I'm Trevor Moore. Did you know that it's illegal to say I want to kill the President of the United States of America? It's illegal. It's a federal offense. It's one of the only sentences that you're not allowed to say. Now, it was okay for me to say it right then because I was just telling you that it's illegal to say I want to kill the President of the United States of America. I'm not actually saying it. I'm just letting you know that it's illegal to say that. It's kind of like a public service. I'm letting you know so that you don't accidentally go out and say something like that. But what's interesting is that it's very illegal to say, I really, really think someone out there should kill the President of the United States of America. That's illegal. Extremely illegal. Very, very illegal. But not illegal to say with a mortar launcher, because that's its own sentence. It's an incomplete sentence, but it may have nothing to do with the sentence before that. So that's perfectly fine, perfectly legal. I also found out that it's incredibly illegal, extremely illegal, to go on television and say something like the best place to fire a mortar launcher at the White House would be from the roof of the Rockefeller Hewitt building because of minimal security and you'd have a clear line of sight to the president's bedroom. Insanely illegal. Ridiculously, recklessly, insanely illegal. Yet even more illegal to show an illustrated diagram. Insanely illegal. Ridiculous. ridiculously, horribly felonious, because they will come to your house in the middle of the night and they will lock you up, extremely against the law. One thing that is technically legal to say is that we have a group that meets Fridays at midnight under the Brooklyn Bridge, and the password is 6 Semper Tyrannis. I work in television on a comedy show. Does anybody here want to work in television when they grow up? Okay, okay. Who likes comedy? Who's the class clown?
Joey!
Joey? Joey's the class clown?
I saw Sarah at recess, and this is what her face looks like.
Okay, all right.
I want to be an astronaut.
Oh, you want to be an astronaut? Well, that's great. You can be an astronaut. All you have to do is study flying or science, and maybe someday you could be the first astronaut to walk on the moon.
No! There already was an astronaut who first walked on the moon.
Well, no, not really. That wasn't real. See, there was this thing called the Cold War, and in order to beat the Russians, we kind of faked that. That never happened. See how there's no windows on the side? And see underneath where there's like a pod thing? What's that, right? Take a look at this wreckage. See how there's no plane parts on the ground there? What does that look like?
A missile.
You see, President Bush was in a secret society at Yale called the Skull and Bones. His dad was too, and they all worship Satan.
President Bush worships Satan?
In my personal opinion, absolutely. And one of the Skull and Bones initiation rituals is that to get in, you have to lie naked in a coffin and masturbate in front of the older members. But the really messed up thing is that since former President Bush, Bush Sr., was also a member, he requested to be there to watch his son's initiation. So he watched his own son masturbate. President Bush masturbated in front of his dad. Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Now, outside of a couple of articles that only update the cause of death for Trevor Moore, there's not much at all. There's really no details. I had to search like at least 7 or 8 articles just to even find that he had security cameras in his house. Like, none of these articles provide any kind of detail. But of course, the death was ruled an accident, just like Leon Payne. So Trevor Moore died August 6th. 2021. Some other articles say that he died August 7th, which would have been a Saturday. The 6th would have been that Friday. So I'm not even sure what day he actually died. There was also a podcast that he was on, which got posted here to YouTube just a couple of hours before his death. And, you know, coming from someone that's not like a major fan of Trevor, he seemed like his normal self. Like, me researching his video and seeing like what kind of guy he is, he seemed like himself in that podcast. It didn't seem like anything was going on or anything indicated that he was about to die. Although it seemed like throughout that podcast, he talked about death a lot. But, you know, I guess that's what they say sometimes when the spirit knows what's about to happen. It was also a little eerie that he was on Joe Rogan. I think he was on Joe Rogan like years ago. This might have been like 15 or 16, 2015 or 2016. It was super eerie because Joe Rogan basically made a joke about falling off of your roof and breaking your neck.
Slipped and fell off your roof and broke your neck? That would be a sad funeral. Slipped and fell off your roof and broke your neck? That would be a sad funeral. This stupid fuck.
I couldn't really tell if he was talking about Trevor just in like a joking way, that someone falling off of their roof and breaking their neck. Like, damn, that would be stupid. And then it turns out that Trevor basically dies the exact same way. He fell off of his balcony at his home, y'all. His house, you know, onto his patio, which was about 2 stories down. And they ruled his death an accident. And the cause was blunt force trauma. He was 41 years old. The coroner said in his report that the accident occurred in Moore's backyard where he was found on the patio. He died of blunt force head trauma. The report also found that Moore's blood alcohol content was well over the legal limit. Then the only article I could find this in, the coroner's report said it viewed security camera footage to make its determinations. Nothing else. Didn't say what they saw on the camera. Didn't say he was drinking, he stumbled by accident. It's nothing, y'all. If y'all can find anything, let me know. It's nothing. It's just he fell 2 stories. It was an accident, blunt force head trauma from falling. That's it. We viewed the security camera, but we're not going to tell y'all no other details. Just know that we looked, and that's what we telling y'all. It really makes me think about that clip back when we were reacting to, what's her name? Candace Owens. And she was talking about how they make sure that they are in control of the medical examiner's office. So it's like, they could pretty much tell you whatever. And it sounds just like Liam Payne's death, right? It literally sounds the same. And, the clip where he was going in about the president and basically like telling people it would be illegal for you to say that. I'm not going to say it in this video too much because I don't want anything to get flagged. But he definitely had a funny way of trying to tell the truth. Even the thing with the kids, he was in a classroom and he was talking about 9/11, the whole thing with the presidents and Skull and Bones. I even think that was over 15 years ago when he was in that classroom and he showed the little kids. I don't know if you actually watch the clip, it almost seems like he's not actually there, or like they pieced together the footage and got the kids' reaction like without him being right in the class. I don't know, it just seemed a little weird that he would be sitting there genuinely talking about, one of the rituals of the Skull and Bones was that they had to lay in a coffin and masturbate in front of the other ones. It just seemed weird that, I wouldn't talk to little kids about rituals and masturbation and stuff like that. So I thought that part was a little weird, although it was very true, especially the part about the wreckage and the Pentagon. So I thought that was very interesting, and it was a little weird that he was talking to kids about masturbation. As far as the death, there is literally nothing else that I could find. So I think in this moment right here, y'all, we'll get a little bit into the death of Donny Hathaway. This is why I wanted to put these 2 videos together, because separate, they just didn't hold enough for a complete video to do it on either person. I do got like a little short news clip I want y'all to see just to gather a little context, a little bit of texture for the video. Take it back to 79 when Donny Hathaway died. And yeah, man, so y'all check this out.
The sudden loss of Donny Hathaway. He's widely considered one of the founders of American soul music. Donny Hathaway was raised in St. Louis in the Carr Square housing projects. He became famous for his stunning voice and his talent as a writer and producer. He won Grammy Awards for his collaborations with Roberta Flack and Aretha Franklin. He also recorded the theme song for the TV show Maude. He might best be known, though, for his holiday classic, This Christmas.
Singer-composer Donny Hathaway had his musical roots here at New Jerusalem Baptist Church. At the age of 4, he toured and performed nationally and was proclaimed the youngest gospel singer at that time. The family refused to move Hathaway's funeral to a larger church because of the large crowds expected. Today, family, friends, and some of the greatest in the music field came to say goodbye to Hathaway. Award-winning composer and singer Stevie Wonder, and Roberta Flack, who shared a Grammy Award with Hathaway in 1973. Reverend Jesse Jackson, head of Operation Push, eulogized Hathaway as an authentic genius of our day. And Jackson says he believes Hathaway may have accidentally fallen from his hotel window.
That he died with his coat and scarf and cap on. It is not likely that one would go through the preparation of full attire just to jump out of the window. How he died cannot consume our time, but rather how he lived and what he contributed. His legacy is music.
Hathaway came from the ghettos of the Carr Square housing project. He graduated from Vashon High School in 1963 and received a music scholarship to go to Howard University. Once at Howard University, Hathaway began composing for such greats as Curtis Mayfield, Jerry Butler, and the Staple Singers. In 1974, Hathaway had 2 gold albums. Hathaway leaves behind a wife and 2 children.
All right, y'all. So I thought that was like very cool to find news as it happened, right? Because it can take us back to the end of the 70s, 79 to be exact. That was Jesse Jackson that was talking at the end of that clip, basically sending Donny Hathaway off. Maybe a lot of you will go and listen to his music after this video. I'm not sure. But I know I sure did listen to a couple of songs. And, This Christmas being a song that was probably remade so many times by different artists since he's died is truly like a magical song. His voice definitely was amazing. Obviously, that's, he has a lot of different music that he wrote, that he sung himself. But truly, his voice was amazing with no auto-tune, not much of any mixing. Back then it was just pure, probably a little bit of ambience, a little bit of reverb. It was just pure back then. And he was definitely super ultra talented. You could see why they called him a genius of music. But look at what we have here, y'all. So what do y'all notice about this article? I just felt good finding this stuff. I found the news clip from 79, and guess what? I found a Washington Post article from 1979, y'all. Yes, this article was published in 1979. This is the original article from when he died. I thought this was super cool. So what do y'all notice right off back? Right here in the first sentence. We don't even got to go nowhere else. Video's over. We already know what happened. Video's over. Guess what they called this one? An accident. They've been doing this, y'all. They was doing this back in the 70s. Unfortunately, Donny Hathaway, 33 years old, a songwriter and singer who had 2 gold record albums in 1972 and won a Grammy in 1973, fell 13 stories to his death Saturday night from his room in the Essex House Hotel in New York. They suspect that he unalived himself because the door to the room was locked and there was no evidence of foul play. Police said no note was found in the room. Video's over, y'all. They sacrificed him at 33 years old and he fell 13 stories to his death. Right there. The numerology is strong with his death. And when I found this article, mind you, like I said, this is the original article from Washington Post 1979. This is as close to the truth that we're going to get as far as the numerology that he fell 13 stories. I saw some stuff where they said it was an accident, and I saw other things or clips where they said he unalived himself. In the clip we just watched, they said that it was not him unaliving himself, but I had to edit it out because they used the S word and I don't want this video to get flagged. If you heard Jesse Jackson, I know it's kind of hard to hear, but go back and put your ear to the phone if you have to. He said Donny Hathaway dressed up. He died in his coat, scarf, and something else I couldn't make out. But basically, he dressed up. And what he's trying to tell you is that he is not finna dress up in order to fall 13 stories out of his hotel. So he got cozy, he got warm and dressed up nice, and he just decided to go ahead and end it all. So no, it was not an accident. He did not unalive himself. Donny Hathaway was sacrificed at the age of 33, y'all. And this let us know, they've been doing it by the numbers for so long. Just another murder by numbers. another soul the devil came and collected. You know, another soul given up by the industry. And their way of controlling the media and controlling the outcome of what we hear, what we know, how, much information they're willing to, let us know. It's been going on for so long, y'all. You think about it back then in the 70s, 79, early 80s. Some people probably knew about this stuff, but like, imagine with technology and all that, you being a teenager, no internet, no none of that. We would have no idea that they were sacrificing his people. You would just be like, oh, okay, he died at 33, cool. Sad. You giving all your energy to it, you sad. Like, imagine being a teenager, imagine being 20 years old in 79. No internet, no nothing. You're not getting on Instagram and seeing that he died. You got to wait for articles to come out. You can't even see the article on your phone. You probably got to go down the street, get it from the store, get it from a stand, see it on TV the day it happens. You see none of this stuff. But, nowadays, 45, 46 years later, we get to like tear this stuff apart. And we can see that it's been going on for so long. I guess what I'm trying to say is like, it's a blessing, it's a blessing to, first off, just be living life, period, because that's a gift that God gave us. The greatest gift is to live life, but it's really a blessing to live in the time that we live in, to, kind of like lift the veil off of our eyes and be able to see all of this demonic stuff that's been going on for so long, because I couldn't imagine living in any other time period. Like, we were meant to live in the time that we live in now. You're meant to meet certain people. A lot of y'all were meant to listen to my videos and hear me tell the truth the way that I tell it. Sometimes you won't be able to understand it if you hear it from other people. Maybe God wanted you to hear the way I told the truth. I'm not saying I tell it the best or I know everything, but we connect on a spiritual level where, we don't have to see each other. We don't have to know each other, but we can agree and we can learn, and, we can just keep exposing the darkness, which is the ultimate mission. But it's a blessing for us to be alive in this time, y'all. Things are going to happen. Things are going to continue to happen. And we're going to be exposed to a lot more that people in the past didn't have the opportunity, to have what we have now. And I find that to be a blessing. We're at the time where we are supposed to be. Everything is divine timing, y'all. So this one was a little bit more short with Donny Hathaway, because y'all know this happened over 40 years ago. So there's not much for me to go on with in this video. But it's clear as day what happened to them both, Trevor and Donny. So yeah, y'all, man, I think we'll wrap it up. Y'all already know how we do it. Sacrifice Sunday. The series continues. As always, y'all let me know what y'all want to see next on the channel. So with that being said, y'all, it's Black Balloon, and I'm going to see y'all soon. I'm out.